Hi, I'm Cheryl Leach. In this problem, I want to find the points of the graph of the function where the tangent line is horizontal. So I'm given my function f of x equals x squared all over x minus 1. Now let's break this down. What exactly do I want to find? Well, first of all, I'm looking for a tangent line. We know that we can find the slope of a tangent line by using the derivative. So let's begin by finding the derivative of this function. The main operation for this function is division, and so I'm going to need to use the quotient rule. So again, thinking of the verbal explanation of the quotient rule, we're going to take the bottom times the derivative of the top, which will be 2x, minus the top times the derivative of the bottom, which is just a 1, and divide the whole thing by the bottom squared. That's the derivative, but I'm going to do some simplification. So I'm going to have a 2x squared minus 2x minus x squared all over the quantity x minus 1 squared, which leads to x squared minus 2x all over the quantity x minus 1 squared. Well, that's my derivative. So that should give me the slope of the tangent line. But what do I want to do with that slope of the tangent line? Well, I want to know when is it horizontal? Well, we know that horizontal lines have a slope of 0. So what I'm asking is, when is the slope of my tangent line equal to 0? So let's find out. 0 equals x squared minus 2x all over the quantity x minus 1 squared. Now this is a fraction that is equal to 0. When does a fraction equal 0? Well, the only way that can happen is if the numerator equals 0 and the denominator is also not simultaneously equal to 0. So for instance, 0 over 7 equals 0, 0 over negative 2 is 0, but 0 over 0 is undefined. So we want to know when the numerator is 0, but the denominator is not 0 as well. So let's go ahead and take the numerator and set it equal to 0. This is a quadratic that's going to factor. So the easiest way to solve this is to factor out the x, and I'm left with x times the quantity x minus 2. I now have two things multiplied together that equal 0. In order for that to happen, one of those terms has to equal 0. So either x is going to equal 0 or x minus 2 is going to equal 0. This equation's already been solved. This one I need to do one more thing to it. I need to add 2 to both sides. So I have x equals 2. Now remember, we want to make sure that my denominator is not equal to 0 at these points. And if I plug 0 in for x into the denominator, I'm going to have a negative 1 squared, which is a positive 1, and I'm okay there. In the second case, when x equals 2, I'm going to have a positive 1 squared, which is also 1, and again, I'm fine. So there are going to be two different places where the tangent line is horizontal. Right? Now the problem actually asked me to find the points on the graph. And I only have the x-coordinates of 2 points. So to complete this problem, I'd like to find the ordered pair that corresponds to those points. So let's see what happens at x equals 0. When x equals 0, I want to find out what the y-coordinate is. So that's going to be f of 0. Now be a bit careful here because we don't want to plug 0 into the derivative. I'm actually trying to evaluate the point that's on the graph. So I want to plug that into the original function. So that means I'm going to plug it into x squared divided by x minus 1. So I'll have 0 squared divided by 0 minus 1, which is 0 over negative 1 or 0, which means the ordered pair where I have a tangent that's horizontal is going to be the point 0, 0. Well, there's a second possibility as well, and that's happening at x equals 2. And again, what's the y value of my original function when the x value is 2? I'm going to have 2 squared divided by 2 minus 1, which leads me to 4 over 1 or 4. So the second place where I have a horizontal tangent is at the point 2, 4. I hope this helps. Thanks.